Hi Gemini, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your deep love read, and this is a deep one. We're going to do singles, we're going to do complicated, and we're going to do those of you in a relationship where like no one's going anywhere kind of thing. So I'm going to be breaking them into three different. First, I'm going to start off with the general astrological influences that are going to be happening at the end of this month. For Gemini, especially rising, to a lesser degree Sun and Moon though as well. Guys, definitely check all of your signs, because you realize when you sit back and you listen to all of them, you're like, yeah, that's kind of like, that's the vibe of the whole story, because it's always sort of, never just one thing. So I'm going to be pulling a destiny card as well as what needs to be looked at for all Geminis, regardless of what space you're in. But let's talk about what's going on. By the way, everything's going to be time stamped, okay? So where the single starts, the complicated starts, and where the serious relationship starts. So anyway, let's talk about the astrology for a minute. We have this karmic solar eclipse in Sagittarius happening. It happened on the 14th, right? Today actually is the 14th. But the reason I'm talking about it though is because it's going to be projecting out for 6 months, and this is happening between your 7th and your 1st house axis. So there's something karmic, something fated that's happening in your serious relationships that's going to incite a release in you. You're going to be seeing things so differently, right? For a couple of reasons, right? We do have the Jupiter-Saturn great conjunction in Aquarius. That's going to be happening in your 9th house of belief systems, your personal philosophies, all of that. Right? This is upside down. Focusing on the wrong thing. So there's going to be a lot of change in how you actually view things there, right? Just because of that. So as well, at the same time, you're also going to have Uranus, the planet of surprises and revolution, in your 12th house of the subconscious. And with Mars and Chiron in your 11th house of goals and wishes, as well as your friend groups, there's going to be so many shifts about, what do I even really want in my life? Do I even want to be married? What do I want? Many of you are going to be experiencing a sudden change of heart. For a lot of you, for a past relationship as well, because let's not forget, this is a solar eclipse in the South Node. South Node has to do with past life, past things. So people coming into your life right now either could be people from your past, literally in this lifetime, or you meeting somebody who you feel like you have a past life connection with. But this is going to just sort of, the whole shift, there's going to be such a shift and like a change in affect to how you view relationships and connections. Many of you are going to be in a space of not being sure again if you even want to be married, right? What needs to be looked at? Beauty. We're going to talk about this in a second. So all of these shifts are going to be going on. Do I want to be married or not? Do I want to be married in the first place? So you might be dealing with somebody who just can't get their act together when it comes to marriage, or finalizing a divorce, or something like that. Where they're in this space where it's like, you want a divorce and they won't give you what you want, or they're still married and they won't get that divorce, or something like that. And you're sitting in this space where it's like, I don't really know what I want. I'm just, it's just kind of happening. Now you are going to have Neptune, which is all about trying to look at reality through a thick fog. You're going to have Neptune hanging in your 10th house, Gemini. So yes, it has to do with career, but it also has to do with your standing in the world, having to do with like, are you married? Are you not married? Are you married? Are you divorced? Are you single? Are you couple? That's the 10th house energy, and you just really not being 100% sure, because with Uranus in there, again, in that 12th house of the subconscious with these shocking surprises, you're going to be feeling, especially because you guys are the North Node, such a shift in your consciousness right now. That's why I've been saying it's all about this big leveling up for Geminis. I know a lot of you are like, where's the change? I don't know. Guys, it does depend on what else you have in your chart. You're not just 100% Gemini. Nope, nobody's 100% anything, okay? This is the destiny is to clean it up. That's a little funny, okay? Overall energy there is to just clean it up. So we have beauty. Beauty is all about the beauty energy. In the Heal Yourself deck is all about focusing on what's beautiful. Think about everything that's Venusian, everything that's fair. Because think about, what is Venus and what is beautiful? Venus is all about what's equitable. has to do with Venus is about our self-love, our self-care, our self-esteem, how we feel about ourselves. What we view as beautiful, what we view as ugly, a lot of times has nothing to do with the exterior. And really getting in touch with what we feel energetically drawn to in our soul. And we just really need to clean it up. I get it. But you can only clean up your stuff. You can't clean up somebody else's backyard, only your own, Gemini, right? So if you're identifying that somebody that you're dealing with is really just maybe a bit of a hot mess, you can't own that. You can't fix it. You can't mitigate that. You can only clean up your yard. So, and you're going to be doing this big time because you have Uranus in the 12th house. Man, are you guys going to be going through a lot. You really are. In a good way. This is all good. And, Venus is in there helping you out through all of this. So I don't want you to feel too too put off by the idea of there being all of this change, because I think it's actually going to end up being really, really good for you. All right, so now let's get into, first we're going to start with our Gemini singles. I have not been ignoring any of our singles at all. It just seems like when I get into doing the relationship reads, the complications that ends up coming through ends up trumping the read. So in order to avoid that, I'm literally doing 3 separate readings, okay? So we are starting first with our single friends. Let's start with our single friends. Let's see, what do you need to look at? Single Geminis right now. I'm going to say Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What do you need to look at right now in relationships? What do you need to... Okay, listen. When we have help from above, that means you need to understand that there's something very karmically driven going on here. Absolutely. Have faith, stay open, right? My goodness, just the fact that you have Uranus in the 12th house, which is the most spiritual house. It's where the veil is very thin between dimensions, and the idea of getting help from above. I love this, as this is truly about staying open, staying hopeful to something, staying hopeful. Something very destiny driven is coming in. Absolutely. Let's see what the destiny is for this. Poised, you are ready as spaghetti for this relationship. You're very ready, which is really good. Whatever is coming in, whatever is happening here, whatever it is, Gemini singles, you're ready for it and you're ready to receive, which is really beautiful, because a lot of the signs are not getting that, okay? They're not. All right, so let's use the Chakra Tarot for you guys. We're going to do a Celtic cross spread. Let's see what goes on. Okay. First card is going to be you in the situation. We have the Wheel of Fortune. This is you right now. Oh, I like this for singles. This is a turning point and taking a chance. You might not totally know, but this is about taking a chance. You're going through your stuff. You've been going through your stuff. You've been working through your stuff, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and you are just ready to take a chance, let Jupiter do her thing, because this is a Jupiter energy, which is all about luck and expansion. And when it comes to, this is a very beautiful fated energy for relationships, by the way. This is just for singles. I'm not talking about complicated, because that would be a different interpretation, okay? Beautiful. It's being crossed by the Justice energy. Justice is a Libra energy, which rules the 7th house of partnerships. So I do like this. Now, this is exactly where this karmic solar eclipse is going to be happening. So I think there's a lot. You really need to pay attention to what's happening in your relationships now. Not only is it karmically driven, but there's something very that's going to end up being very strong, like long-term here. Justice is all about truth. It's about fairness. It's about something that's equitable, right? And this is the energy of what's crossing you or complementing you right now is this Justice energy. Some of you may be meeting a Virgo, or where they have very heavy Virgo in them. But just this idea of fairness, it's almost like, can I tell you, I'm almost getting like some sort of karmic retribution is swooping back around, and whatever struggles that you've been going through in relationships, for those of you who are single, there's this beautiful karmic payback that's being served up here, which is really lovely. Now, we have the best that can be achieved in the circumstances. Okay, hold on. We get the 5 of Cups, which is about loss and regret. feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. This is the best that could be achieved in the circumstances right now. Gemini, why is that? So let's see what else we can get. As the foundation, the reason for this reading, we have the Magician. Okay, so you might be dealing with a Gemini or Virgo because this is a Mercury energy, and Mercury rules those, both of those energies as well. But the foundation here, this you're really trying to turn something that you see in your mind's eye into reality. You're really trying to make something happen. Okay, it's Gemini. It's like you guys, because this is a Mercury energy and you guys are ruled by Mercury. It's about communicating in a way that's going to end up inciting a healthier day-to-day experience for you, having to do with relationship and what all of that means. You are very based on fairness. You need to have things be very fair right now. Now, in the past, coming into this energy, Four of Cups, you were feeling very apathetic, feeling very unfulfilled in relationships in general, like always feeling like there was a little something missing. And that's Gemini struggle with that, and I talk about that all the time because, and this is, the Gemini energy is so smart. You guys know you're the most intelligent sign, in the zodiac, even more than Sagittarius. The Sagittarius is the philosopher, rules higher education and all of that. Yeah, but the Sagittarius energy often thinks that it knows everything, whereas as I always say, Geminis are open to experience, open to learning, open, forgiving, fun, want to learn everything, right? And so the thing here where this can get a little trippy, and this is also if you have Gemini on your 7th house, by the way, where it could get a little trippy, is that the Gemini energy requires very much, as I always say, a Renaissance energy. And there's nothing wrong with that, where you want to feel attracted, you want to feel interested, you want to be, they need to be interesting. And it's very easy to get bored. And not because you're judgmental, but because it's like your mind, you bring so many different things to yourself. You want somebody to be able to keep up with you. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not like a negative thing. It's just something that you have to be mindful of. So what I'm getting for those of you who are single, it's been very much a space of feeling very frustrated in relationship. Just feeling very frustrated. So let's just finish pulling out. I'm going to come back to that. That best that can be achieved in the circumstances right now is, let's see. And again, only because you have so many changes going on in your subconscious, and because this only has to do with the end of December, you might be in this very this deep space of transition right now. Yeah, look at this. This is you right now. We have the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is you're stressed, you're exhausted, you feel very burdened by the idea of relationship. This is very interesting. Gemini, I don't feel like, even though we have poise and help from above, I'm getting two things right now. One, I'm just going to say this as quickly as it's coming in. Some of you have now fully let go of somebody from the past. That's number one. Number two, you are actually not as ready as you think you are because of things that you need to work through. You need to work through these changes that are going on in your subconscious mind, because everything's changing. The philosophy of your life, what you thought that you wanted. You're very ready for love on a soul level, right? You understand what I'm saying? However, there needs to be this tending to your garden in other areas of your life for you to come to this point where you're actually fully ready. Because look at what we have, your external environment, the external influences affecting you. We have the Hierophant energy. So some of you may not be totally over either a past relationship, or some of you may be, even though you're single, you may be like absolutely haunted by the idea of, will I ever get married? Because the Hierophant energy is that marriage card. It is about honoring the sacred in the relationship. It's about traditions, conventions, expectations, and conforming. And these are the external influences surrounding you right now. But you're feeling very stressed out about it. So some of you might be single because you're newly divorced, or because you're just out of a relationship, or because, you're not even sure if you want to get married. You're not sure what you want from relationship. As I mentioned before, particularly because we have Neptune in the 10th. So you might not be sure what you have, what you actually even mean. So looking at your hopes and your fears. Ooh, look at this, 10 of Cups. This is your fear. Your fear is that you're not going to have that family contentment, the total love and support, that you're my home, right? Kind of energy. But at the same time, you're scared to death of that. For many of you, it might be because, you're wondering, will I be happy in that? Is it going to be enough? Like, am we going to be happy with them in the long term? Because I've been in past relationships and I don't know, and it doesn't work out. Right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like feeling that level of sort of trepidation within yourself. So we have in the near future, we have an 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is about a walking away. This is Saturn and Pisces. This is just saying like, oh my gosh, this whole thing has just become too heavy. This is about withdrawing, retreating, and moving on and abandoning an idea. Yeah. All right. But check it out. When you look at what we have in the final outcome, the Princess of Cups. So this is a romantic proposal, Prince, Princess Charming coming in. This is new love. So what I'm looking at here, Gemini, is you working through the release. You're working through the release right now. Because this is the thing. Why we got the 5 of Cups here. This feeling of grief, of rejection, abandonment, feeling very unloved. You're working through all of this so that you could get there. You're actually very ready, but you're very ready. This Princess of Cups, this is sent to you by Spirit or by somebody who loves you to pieces, who's hanging on the other side with Spirit. This is very karmically driven, very destiny driven. Now, again, for some of you, this is going to be, for those of you who are single, I'm sorry to say, because I know a lot of you hate when I say this is going to be the return of somebody from the past. I have to say it. Only because it is, again, it's the solar eclipse in the South Node. This eclipse is happening with the South Node energy in Sagittarius. So, first of all, you're going to be releasing something that you believe to be true at one point in time. There can be this return of somebody from the past, or you releasing something that you thought you believed about relationship, and you meeting somebody brand new, and that ends up, a lot of you, it's going to be somebody from your past, because princesses indicate like a brand new cycle, but like brand new cycle though. But it could also be a new love as well. But let's say if it is somebody brand new, you approaching the relationship from a very, very, very different perspective. You're ready to do relationship differently at this point moving forward. But you're trying to figure out how to like release the last of the residue on your soul that's still echoing from maybe 1, 2, 3, 5 past relationships. It doesn't even, and it's not to say that it's even like a missing kind of thing. It's like, oh man, that relationship kind of messed me up in that way, or I gave too much in that and I hope that doesn't happen again. Do you know what I mean? Like how different our scars could look very different. So what I've been doing is I've been taking, at the end of readings, what I've been doing is taking the major arcanas, putting them together, do a little numerology with tarot, throw in the astrology, wada, let's do all of it. So we have the Justice energy, which is 11. Magician is 1, so we have 12. 10 with the Wheel of Fortune, so we have 22. The Hierophant is 5, so we have 22, 7, so we have 9. Okay, so the nine energy is the Hermit. This is a Virgo energy, and Virgo is all about going within. Some of you might be dealing with the Virgo energy. It's about going within right now. You're on for clarity. You're on a quest for our personal truth, spiritual illumination, which I know you are because you have Uranus in the 12th. And I just feel like these changes and these shifts are going to create problem-solving energy for you, because the Hermit energy is Virgo, and Virgos are the problem solvers of the zodiac. Right, they're ruled by Mercury, so we have the mental, but they're an earth energy as well. So you're going to be able to think about and figure out what's necessary to have like more of a grounded relationship moving forward, and what it is that you need in that way. So I really like that for you. So thank you, my Gemini single friends. I hope that was helpful for you in some way. Okay, let's put these over there. Okay, so let's move on to our Gemini in relationship. So you guys are married or you've been together forever, you know, where you're not single, but you're not in a complicated situation, right? You guys are together, but you might be just needing a little bit of guidance in that right now. So let's see what destiny has going on for you guys. Unfinished symphony. Well, that's good. So some of you may be in a space with this energy saying like, I really don't know if this is the right thing for me. I'm not sure. Unfinished symphony. Let's see what needs to be looked at. Yep. Hello. Healing. Didn't the healing card come out before? That's so funny that it came out again here. All right, I guess there needs to be healing. There needs to be some healing in marriages here for our Gemini friends. Okay, we're going to use some good old Rider-Waite. I'm using this. I haven't used this in the longest time. Love the good old Rider-Waite. One of the first decks I was ever given when I was a 14-year-old youngin'. We got some energies. I'm not taking them, but can we just look at these? King of Cups and a Five of Swords. All right. So there's a lot of love here, but there's some arguing about, are things going to be any different moving into the future? Okay. Let's see. You right now, temperance, yeah, like it. Balance, harmony, patience, self-control, moderation. This is the card of compromise, Gemini. You know, it's like, what do you need? What do they need? What does the relationship need? And just trying to figure that out. You know, it's a Sagittarius energy. So the fact that we have this eclipse happening in that house of partnerships in Sagittarius, I think this is very, this is very spiritual for me as a reader. Okay, so we have the Five of Swords is crossing you. So this is what's crossing you or complementing you. And this came out, right? In that pre-shuffle, it popped out and it came out again. So we really need to look at this. This is about, again, swords are words, right? It's truth, it's words. I want to say that this is a necessary discussion. Let's try to, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, I'm not, but this is a Venus in Aquarius energy. Venus being in this idea of what needs to be different moving forward in order for this to be any different. What has to happen? Do you guys need to speak to each other more kindly? Do you need to respect each other a little more obviously? Does there need to be more equitable distribution of finances? These are all things that Venus means. Do you feel loved enough? Or you know what I mean? All of these things. Are we going to be able to do that? So there's a lot of discussion here about what needs to be looked at and how it needs to be handled in order for it to move forward. Now, the best that can be achieved from the circumstances is the Nine of Cups. Beautiful. Wishes coming true. Material abundance, good health, fabulous, fabulous. It looks good. There's healing here. So I like it. So for those of you in a relationship, if you're in a little bit of a wonky space, hold on tight, be patient, okay? Now we have the foundation, the reason for the reading. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles, when we do in love readings, first of all, this is a fabulous energy because whatever it's being given to you by the hand of God. But the reason for the reading can be this identification of this new foundation, this new need for connection in a different way, because we have this, the Pentacles is mental, physical, and emotional connection in addition to money. Right? So, you know, this could absolutely be, is there issue with money? If there is, the Ace of Pentacles is really good because this is a new job, this is a promotion, a new investment. Maybe you guys are like arguing in the biggest way about money coming in, arguing about a housing situation. You know, should we sell the house? Should we make improvements? Should we do, you know, and it's like not seeing eye to eye on that. It could have anything to do with, anything having to do with any kind of money, but it could also have to do with connection, where you're in this space where it's like, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about this anymore. Some of you might be, maybe you met a new, there's a new connection like in the mix, or you are just desiring this new connection. And it's not because there's not love here. It's this mental, physical, emotional connection within this connection has gone stale or off the road. And so you're feeling now, it's like there's this loneliness almost, I almost feel like. Not that you're alone, but like almost feeling lonely within the relationship. Now let's see what the past. So yeah, I mean, up to this point, you've been kind of confused. Though the Hangman is a confused card, right? Because it is Neptune. Neptune's the 12th house energy, and it's like just not being able to see things clearly, right? But there are going to be big changes here because the Hangman, again, is, because it's Neptune, Neptune rules the 12th house. We have a lot of shocking surprises happening in your 12th house that's going to be transiting your 12th house. You know what I'm saying? Not in your personal birth chart, but it's going to be particularly for those of you who are Gemini rising. So yeah, I mean, this is all about just trying to get a different perspective of things. You've been trying to think about different ways of handling this, but you haven't really been able to quite make up your mind about, what you think is necessary in something. So we have the near future, we have the devil energy in the near future. Let's talk about that, because that could be understood a couple of different ways. So right now, you are the Seven of Wands. You're in this space of just feeling like you need to defend yourself, protect against something, right? So you might be in like a little bit of a rivalry situation, but it's like you're drawing a line in the sand and saying, look, this is what I want, need, and desire, and I can't compromise it. Like, this is healthy. This is Mars in Leo, and Mars is all about not allowing us to be in a space that does not speak to our integrity and what's not right for us. Remember, Mars is the tower energy. Mars takes us away from things that we're not supposed to be in, right? So Mars in Leo being where our sense of self-respect, right? Self-love, being brave, being courageous. That's where all of that hangs out, right? So it's this idea where it's like it's not that you're being inflexible, Gemini. It's like you've just been through so much that you're like, look, at the end of the day, this is what I want, need, and desire. And I'm not going to apologize for it because it's simply what I'm feeling. And you may be in this space where somebody's like, you can't feel like that. Well, you shouldn't feel like that. And you're like, yeah, but guess what? I do. So, and here we have the Hierophant energy. I feel like the singles got this in the same spot too. Oh my goodness, right? So this is the environment, external influences affecting you. Marriage, right? This is the Hierophant is about traditions. Could certainly be an external influence affecting you. Some sort of convention, some sort of expectation, needing to conform to something. This is an external influence that's surrounding you right now. This could certainly just simply be honoring the sacred in your relationship. And, just as the external energy where it's like you want to work something out. You do. You want something to work. You don't want to feel this way. You want to fix things. You want to honor the sacred in your relationship. But it's like you're scared, right? You're just scared. But the Four of Wands is about, first of all, this is an energy of reunion, which is very interesting. I don't know if some of you are hearing from somebody from your past or thinking about somebody from your past and it's bugging you out a little bit. It's scaring you, putting the seed of wonder in your mind. Like, oh my gosh, if my marriage was that good, would I even be thinking about this person? Or why do I keep thinking about this person? What is going on there? That's going to be for some of you. For others of you, though, this is simply a strong foundation. So it's like this is very much what you want, but this is maybe what you're fearing will not happen. Four of Wands is great energy, right? It's very much about homecoming, celebrating with friends, with family, being like in this beautiful sort of like just lovely, solid celebratory vibe. And it's like you're afraid of that not happening at the same time. That's really very much what you want. Now we have in the near future the devil energy. Now, we can look at this a couple of different ways. If we want to look at this as addiction, greed, envy, materialism, obsession, sexual lust, we can. This can also just be wherever the imbalance is and somebody not wanting to see their stuff. But Somebody needs to see their stuff here. And maybe it's you, Gemini. It could be the person that you're dealing with. Doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world, even though it's a major arcana. It's simply imbalance. And it's the kind of imbalance that can be a deal breaker. Obviously, if there's cheating or if there is some sort of severe addiction where somebody doesn't want to get help, obviously that's going to play out a lot differently than if it's the kind of devil energy where somebody is dealing with a partner who's very depressed and very anxiety ridden and they don't want to get help. You know what I'm saying? So you have to apply it to your circumstances you see fit. However, I also want to say that this is the energy of Capricorn. And Capricorn rules the 10th house, which represents the institution of marriage. And it also indicates, that's what we look to see, our work ethic. So we can look at it that way as well. Where even though, and it could be two things true at one time, where there can be this imbalance. However, we still want to work at something to try to fix it and figure it out. Because we have as the final outcome energy, the Empress, which is the mother of the tarot. This is a beautiful energy and it's sheer Venus, 100%. This is about fertility, creation, pregnancy, abundance, good parenting, the ability to grow. This is just about feeling good about being in the relationship again, things being equitable, feeling loved, feeling and giving each other what you need and being able to grow the relationship. And whatever that means for you. So you say, oh my gosh, well, how do we go from the devil to the Empress energy? By tapping into the high elevation of the devil energy, which is the beautiful aspect of the Capricorn energy, which is about putting in that hard work and being patient and working and patient, right? That's really what it is. So let's go even a little deeper than that and let's pull any of the major arcanas. Well, we have a lot of them here. We have the Hangman, we have Temperance, we have the Devil, we have the Empress, we have the Hierophant. All right, so give me a minute, I have to add these up. So we have 7. Okay, so we have the Temperance energy, 14 and 12, 26, and then we have the Devil in 26, 29, 34, and then we have the devil energy here, which is, okay, what did I say, 34, 44, 49, and 13, 4. So it all comes down to a 4, adding some numerology with the tarot and the astrology. So 4, so the fourth card is the Emperor energy. Who else got the Emperor energy? Virgo. Virgo also got the Emperor energy, I think, as well as the final card in the marriage. Really great energy. The Emperor is all about understanding you guys need to have a fresh path, a new perspective. You guys are going to do some strategic figuring out, fixing problems. This is a beautiful area. The Emperor is Aries energy, which is ruled by Mars. It's about, come on, let's go. Let's leave whatever's been toxic and let's just start over. Let's just go into this new cycle of our life with a fresh slate and let's just figure out what we need to do. So I love that. Beautiful. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, you know, it's not going to be easy, but this is the energy that's going to be available to you, what you decide to do. You know, obviously, again, if that devil energy meant something like cheating, total narcissist, somebody who's got, you know, their agenda is completely upside down, then that Venus could, because Venus is always about looking at what's fair and what's not fair, that Venus energy is you loving you. But I do see there a lot, this really does speak to a lot of healing, I do have to say. So it does seem like the marriage is a little complicated. So you might want to hang out for the complicated read. I don't know, it's up to you. It's up to you. So let's go on to our Gemini. You guys are in a complicated situation. Maybe together, you're not together. Maybe you haven't been together for a long time. Complicated could also be somebody who's just still in your energy. You can't wash them off. What's going on? What's going on? because you might be feeling energetically something moving, something shifting, but you're not sure, right? These are all the complicated situations. So let's see what the destiny is of this complicated situation. Flexible. Love it. Okay. Flexible. Needing to see things differently. Flexible is about, to me, the flexible energy in this card is very much like temperance. And what is temperance? Temperance is about, what do you need? What do they need? What does the situation need? Everybody's ears and eyes are open. There's a lot of listening. There's a lot of speaking. There's paying attention. That, you know what I mean? There's being flexible in the situation. There's no my way or the highway thing. So there's going to be this very flexible kind of energy here. Let's see what needs to be looked at. Beauty. He also got beauty too. Interesting. The whole deck, we get repeating cards. Always fascinating me, especially when I shuffle so much. But you know, the energy that wants to come out. So beauty is like, look at what is beautiful in this relationship. This is about focusing on the positive, not focusing on the negative. Where does the beauty exist within this connection? This is really about sitting down honestly with a pen and paper and saying, all right, like pros and cons kind of thing, and really trying to focus on the beauty of something. Beauty energy is also Venusian, so that therefore we have to look at, how do we feel being in this situation? Do they make us feel good? Are things equitable? Are things equitable regarding who does what as far as communication, intimacy, contributing finances, work around the house? If you guys ever lived together at one point, maybe you're not together now. Like whatever it was in the relationship, focusing on the positives, though, not the negative. So there's like this energy just going into this before I even pull any of the tarot of, all right, we have to be fair. Let's be fair and let's focus on the positives, and then let's see where that brings us. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of energy I'm getting from this. Okay. Okay, you Gemini right now, in this, you or the situation right now, is the Ace of Swords. So the Ace of Swords is having clarity about something, a new idea coming in. But with that new idea and that clarity does come a particular type of conflict. Kind of like, okay, now what? Like, now what do we do with it, sort of thing. So there's this awareness, there's this clarity, but like kind of like a now what kind of thing. Okay, let's see what's crossing you or complimenting you. We have the King of Wands in reverse. So the King of Wands in reverse it's a bully, right? This is somebody who's just not ready yet. And again, I feel like this has been coming out like somebody might have be dealing with some sort of sexual dysfunction, where that was a huge issue in the relationship, right? Or some sort of irresponsible behavior having to do with that. Now, again, it could mean that somebody has some sort of physical dysfunction going on and they don't feel comfortable to get help, right? Or it could be somebody who's very, very irresponsible sexually, right? Could have something to do with either one. So we have this clarity though, right? This like, you know, light bulb moment, right? With the Ace of Swords. To somebody's either bullying ways, sexual problems, or their ability to not be ready in something. Or that could be you, you know, it's just because this is a general reading. But that's what's crossing. Now, the best that can be achieved in the circumstances, we have the Three of Cups, which is beautiful. This is a very celebratory energy. Friendship, celebration, circle of support. Lovely. And we have the foundation, the reason for this reading. We have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is about greed, stressing about money. There being issue, maybe there was issue having to do with money within this situation. Maybe you guys are in a complicated situation because of money. I do have to say that because it's Pentacle energy. But in a relationship reads, Pentacle energy very often comes up as mental, physical, emotional connection. right? So what does that mean? In relation to this, it's almost like somebody just not being caring enough, not being affectionate enough, not being open enough with their emotions, not being able to commit enough, just being kind of closed off. So, you feeling this sense. So for some of you, it's going to be that money issues is what's making this complicated. Others of you, it's like somebody's like closed off, and there could be this King of Swords reverse, energy that's inflecting that as well. Let's see about the past. We had the World in the past. So the World, and this is about completing a lesson here, right? And once the completion of this lesson, then now you have Saturnian blessings. This is a really good card, but it's about a completion. So something was completed, like something, there was a lesson learned in the past here. So let's just pull the rest, the other side of the cross, and we'll see what we have. Because right now, Gemini, I see you as the Four of Cups. This is you right now. Four of Cups is just feeling very kind of apathetic, feeling very unfulfilled. You feel like something's missing. You feel the sense of missing, right? Now, your environment or the external influences affecting you, we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And this is very deliberately cruel person. Somebody who is prone to like violent outbursts, or where they can just be very nasty in their approach, very nasty in how they deal with you. It's like you could be feeling in this space, and this happens a lot with Geminis because Geminis are so forgiving, and it literally is like Geminis, like a really bad thing can happen. I'm talking about the Gemini archetype. Gemini archetypes let things go eventually. They're not like Cancer energies, like that, where they hold on to things a lot longer. Geminis aren't like that. Geminis are like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, is it going to matter? Or whatever. Nobody's perfect. Kind of, you know what I mean? Like that kind of energy. So you could very much be in that space right now, where you're wanting to kind of like revisit something, without realizing though, like how very like, what do I want to say, bullyish this energy is that you're dealing with. Like that's a tough energy, right? Because it's somebody, again, who's just like will say the meanest things just to be mean, just to hurt you, kind of thing. So I wouldn't recommend like a re-engagement, the communication, as far as you reaching out to anybody. Now, I see in your hope or fear, we have the Eight of Coins energy, which is about mastering the energy of what's necessary to make this work. And it's like you're afraid of what's necessary to make something work, and you're afraid of it being possible, and you're also afraid of actually even putting the work in yourself, because what's being asked of you, or what would be expected of you in the way of forgiveness, or in the way of what you want, need, and desire. It's like you want the connection to work, but what's being asked of you may be bigger or more than you're comfortable actually giving, or you worrying that what you recognize as being necessary is too big for them to be able to deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like that they won't be able to show up. But we have the near future. We have the moon. I like the moon reverse because it's about better out than in. This is clarity. This is the truth coming out. It's about whatever you're feeling inside is coming out, which I really like, right? So the truth of a situation is going to be just rearing its head. And then we have Temperance, though. We have Temperance in reverse. Temperance in reverse, very disruptive energy, chaos, excess, feeling out of control, kind of all over the place. Kind of all over the place. So right now, it just seems like it's not, if you guys are in a space where you are broken up and you feel like you can get back together, and I know the holidays are upon us and you really want to do that, and you're very much focused on the positives and you want to be flexible, you absolutely can't control, though, what it is that they do. So there is going to be this energy of missing, but you're dealing with somebody who's super difficult right now, Gemini. Super difficult. So I want to pull more cards, but before I do that, I want to just pull out the major arcanas and see what that's going to ultimately give us an equal to. I just realized a card from a different deck snuck in. That's okay. We take the energy. Nothing's on accident. Okay, so we have 21, the world, 18. We have 21, 31, 41, 39, 49, 53. 5 plus 3 is 8. So the 8th card is strength. It's all about you being strong right now, my friends. It's all about you being strong right now. That it all comes down to 8, which is the strength card, which is about self-love, self-respect, courageous. It's also the ruler of the landlord of the 5th house, as it's Leo, about new love, new romance, new things like that. So for a lot of you, you may be opening up your mind and understanding that it's time for you to start looking at relationship new, and you opening yourself up to a new energy with that final card. So let me just see something here from an energetic perspective, what we need to tap into. What cosmic energies do you need to lean into right now? I like it. You have to lean into yourself, Gemini. Look at that. Fabulous. Trusting yourself. Communicate openly. Don't hold anything in. I don't feel like you will, because we get that card as the moon reverse. Okay, we have a lot of beautiful let's go energy here. We have the 6th house. You're going to be very focused on your mental, physical, and emotional health. You're going to be focusing on you, what it is that you want, need, and desire. You're going to really be very focused on yourself right now, which is so positive. And then we have trine, flow. Allow the flow. Don't allow yourself to get too tripped up in anything right now. Absolutely don't. This is about just enjoying, indulging, hanging with people who support you. Putting this, I hate to say this, but in a way, putting things on a shelf for a minute. Uranus, there's going to be some shocking changes, man. I'm telling you. Something that you're not expecting is going to be coming in. I mean, I know that's happening anyway in your 12th house. So this could be this unbelievable epiphany that you're having about this relationship, or about where you see relationship going. So, I mean, this is what I see for many of you. Let me just get a closing. Let me get just a closing tarot for our Gemini complicated. It's coming up for them. It's coming up. Oh, Gemini, look at that. 6 of Cups. So you're going to have to make a decision, because you are going to be hearing from them again. So there is going to be this need, though. You need to focus on the positive of the relationship, and you need to be flexible. They do also. I'm not saying that you need to do all of the work here, but what I'm saying is I'm vibing that this is going to be like right now, there's going to be another communication coming in. There's going to be communication coming in for them. It's going to be a little chaotic, very argumentative, very nuts. You're going to be sitting there like, what the hell am I listening to right now? There's probably going to be a lot of projection, there could even be some gaslighting going on. I'm letting you know I'm getting this very heavily. However, I want you to go climb into your Zen space. I want you to focus on why you are even giving this individual in front of you the energy and your breath. What I mean by that is look for the beauty in the connection. Don't get blinded by whatever their vulnerabilities and insecurities are projecting out of them in that moment. Try to focus on the beauty and focus on being flexible. That means, like, if they're talking and you totally don't agree with them, let them finish. I know it's hard, but let them finish. And then demand that they listen to you as well in a very passive but calm way. Calmness is going to be the key here during this conversation. But definitely, look, if you decide you don't want to get back with them, then don't get back with them. Right? This is the weather of what's going to be going on. If you don't want to engage, you don't have to, but that's what's going on here. Now, there is so much karma coming back around like nobody's business, is no question. You don't have to re-engage if you don't want to. It's going to be a personal choice. Depends on the energy that you were dealing with, But anyway, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.